What books do I read? It's a question I got a lot now after my last video where I talk about learning. Many of you have asked me, what books do I read? And I've got this question over the years, I think, again, at least 100 times, because almost everyone knows I'm a ferocious reader. I really love it. And so in terms of the types of books, so one type that has stayed consistent over the years are books around the concept of Stoicism. I'm, let's say, a practicing Stoic, and that's the only form of Stoic I believe you can be. You can't just be a studier of it. You have to practice it because otherwise it doesn't work. And so there are amazing books. There are still books miraculously from the Stoics themselves, from the original ones and the ones that have practiced it. And if you do a little bit of research, I won't mention any, because even if you do a little bit of research, you will find who I'm talking about. Actually, I mean, you can look at Zeno, you can look at Socrates, you can look at Marcus Aurelius, you can look at so many people. A modern day author on the topics of Stoicism is Ryan Holiday, that I follow quite extensively. I've read several of his books. I don't know if all of them, but quite a few. Like, for example, The Obstacle is the Way is one of my favorite books. I've read it multiple times. You also have Ego is the Enemy, another amazing book I really like. Then you can have so that's Stoicism. That's one thing that has been consistent. I've almost always read books on the subject. And then after that, I read books on specific topics that I need help with. So, for example, a few years ago, I was getting angry, and I didn't know why. I keep getting angry and angry. Actually, it was a little over a year ago, and I didn't know why it's happening. And then I realized it was because I wasn't sleeping. I was sleep deprived. I would sleep like maybe 2 hours of good sleep a night extensively because my new baby was born, and I didn't know what to do. My brain wouldn't work, and then I had whatever I needed to do during the day, and I just couldn't make it work. And so because I couldn't make it work, I would get frustrated, and then if something would happen, I'd have a little temper. I'm like, this isn't me. Why am I doing this? And then I realized it was because of sleep deprivation. At the same time, I ordered the book. The book is called Never Get Angry Again. Very good book. Highly recommend it. Very good read. I read it, I would say, 1.5 times. So I read it once cover to cover, and then went back to remind myself of a few of the principles. Again, very good book. And there are many others. For example, when I was younger, I read Have a New You by Friday. I was like, okay, let's see, what does the new me look like? It was such a funny book, incredible. I really loved it. I think the author was Kevin Lehman or something like that. Very cool. I read it like 10 years ago. And I read it because I wanted to learn more about how other people operate, how they think, and why they do what they do. And the book is amazing for that. So what gets me to literally read the book and be there and study it and take lessons and take notes and so on is its relevancy. Is it relevant to whatever it is I'm dealing with right now, right? So when I was having some anger issues, I read the book Never Get Angry Again. When I wanted to learn about other people, I read that one. If I want to learn about health, I take a book on health, and so on and so forth. So pick whatever is relevant to you. Or you can just read for the fun of it, but I read things that help me perform better in life typically. And so that's what I read. Hopefully that answers your question. If you need more book recommendations, or if you want more book recommendations, just ping me in messages. I'd love to share a reading list or maybe a few screenshots of what I've read. and then we can geek out on the topics there. So thank you so much for listening. Hopefully this was valuable to you. Have an amazing day and speak to you soon. Bye.